As I'm sure most of you have heard by now, CD Projekt Red did a horrible, nasty, dirty, no-no thing. They told a joke. Don't they know it's 2018 and jokes are illegal? I wish I was kidding, but just ask Count Dankula about that. Granted, it was kind of a stupid joke, a little bit forced, but it was still a fucking joke. It was just did you just assume their gender joke? You know, ones that have been on the internet for fucking ever. Granted, when companies try to do internet jokes, internet humor, it comes off as cringy and stupid. Not offensive, just cringy and stupid. And yet they were given so much shit for it. I don't get how or why. Well, I do, because this perfectly encapsulates what 2018 has become, but I don't get how just people are this fucking stupid. Hell, even the media went out on a tirade against CDPR for this. The biggest thing I've seen as to why this was bad follows basically this chain. They can't say that this is offensive. Why is it offensive? Because this is insulting to trans people. Why exactly is it insulting to trans people? Because this is a made-up thing the internet did that no one has ever really said, and it's used just to make fun of trans people. I love the revisionist history that's going on here. No one has ever said, did you just assume their gender? Uh-huh. You know how this got started? Because everyone was saying it before the internet took it and ran with it. It's the same thing with I sexually identify as an attack helicopter. That became a thing because there were a fuck ton of people saying I identify as this, I identify as that, etc., etc. It became increasingly common, and with wider and weirder things that people were saying unironically. So the internet just took it to its extreme with attack helicopter. That's why you don't hear people say, did you just assume their gender, or I sexually identify as, much anymore. What they do now is they put their gender pronouns on their Twitter profile. Again, I wish I was joking. I don't understand how revisionist history can exist when the internet has lots and lots of documentation to show that, yes, people did say this shit unironically. That's how it became a meme. And CD Projekt Red just got so much flack for this one joke. So many people came out and said, oh, I'm not going to buy the game. Like you were going to buy it anyway. Oh, the media even came out and said that they were horribly offended on behalf of trans people everywhere. First, why is it specifically trans people? It's, did you just assume their gender? And gender fluid is supposedly a thing, and that's not trans. So why is it this is a trans insult? But I'm trying to apply logic to something that has none. There is a new forum, I forget the name right now, and quite frankly I don't care, Reset Era, that's basically the revised version of ye olde forum known for booting people left, right, and center. Well, mainly right and center. And again, I forget the name of that too, because quite frankly I'm glad they're dead and I don't like bringing them up. There was a thread talking about CDPR's joke in that forum. They banned no less than 40 people for the crime of not just defending CDPR, it could be as slight as being on their side or saying that they didn't do the literal worst thing in human history. And their stance was, oh, the only way that this can be seen is as offensive to trans people. Because if you don't control the narrative, if you don't control how something is seen, then people can actually have opinions. Just to further prove the insanity, in this same week, Eurogamer released an article, and I'm going to have a link to it, where the first fucking half of the article is dedicated entirely to the Eurogamer interviewer talking about gender. I'm not kidding. I read through it. I counted. Of the 15 questions the interviewer asked, 7 were about gender. I'm sensing a bit of a theme here. It's mind-blowing. Oh, and the media doesn't have a bias. Of course, it's just a really weird coincidence that today was his gender topic day in a game where gender doesn't matter because you're fucking cyborgs. And I don't know if it's the way that the editor transcribed what the CDPR dev was saying, or if this is how the CDPR dev was actually responding, because it sounds like he is really confused as to what is going on here, and he doesn't quite know how to answer these things because they're so far out of the scope of what he was expecting to hear. I just don't know what's wrong with people anymore. It's insane that a single joke can drive people so far up the wall and get them, well, I guess they would look for any kind of reason to virtue signal, but just for this? Really? The amount of revisionist history involved in it, the obvious media bias towards a specific topic. I am just so tired of this shit all the fucking time. And for the companies that did nothing wrong being blamed for other people being insane. Let this be a lesson. This is why you do not apologize to these types of people. You do what someone like Daniel Vavra did. You go full on against them. They say they are offended. You say, good. You want another one? I would like to think that people will learn from this and see that you don't give them an inch because they will take a fucking mile. But I have several years of history that show that we don't learn jack shit. I can dream, at least. This has been Math Machine, just being so tired at all the stupid shit that happens on a daily basis over fucking jokes. We need therapy. Peace out.